Greetings, YouTube, and welcome to part 2 of Horizon Burning Shores with a Therapist. I hope you enjoyed part 1. Thank you very much for watching it. I'm looking forward to seeing what is across the bridge for us in this episode. Please leave a thumbs up, subscribe, follow, the links down in the description, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. I do appreciate all of you doing that. Even if it's something small like, hey, enjoyed the episode. It makes a big difference for the YouTube algorithm. So thank you very much for being awesome and supporting my channel. Check out my other playthroughs too. There's good stuff in there. All right, let's see what's across the bridge. What do you got for us, Seika?
That Quen scroll I found mentioned someone hid a key in the settlement. Might be for this.
Oh. Interesting. See, now you got me intrigued about the waterfall again. Ooh, look at that over there. I don't think I took time to like see that. Damn. Eye of Sauron strikes again. Look at that lava down there. Ooh, baby.
Okay, maybe it's time to meet up with Seika and head to the tower.
I would say it is. What up, Seika?
Aloy, over here.
Hey, I'm here. So, how do we get to the tower?
These trails will lead us to it. Take your pick.
Okay,
Take your pick.
let's go.
You're leading me.
So you know a lot about my people, but I barely know anything about you. Like who you're looking for at Starlight Rise.
He's a, fugitive.
Come on, that's all you've got?
Let's just focus on getting to the tower.
So mysterious.
Well, at least she's cool about it. I don't know that I love that move. I mean, I'm all for Aloy saying he's a fugitive and not giving up the whole,
I'll need these later, for sure.
He's from the far zenith. Like, she doesn't need all that information, but Aloy seems to expect that people be upfront with her almost immediately, but when presented with the opportunity to be somewhat more upfront with the people around her, she doesn't always take it. And it's not my favorite thing in the world. Because it doesn't really build trust, and it doesn't give you the benefit of the doubt. And I think if she was like, you know, there's this person I'm looking for, like, he's a fugitive, he's pretty dangerous, I think he's over there. I'm on a mission to figure out what he's up to. I don't know that you guys are in danger, but I don't know for sure, so I need to keep it on a need-to-know basis right now, just because of the nature of it. I think that buys you a lot more than being cryptic about the whole thing.
A water wing. The other day I saw the tower shoot down an entire flock. Poor things crashed into the sea south of Fleet's End.
I've never seen one before. That tower's gotta go.
Tower's got to go. That slaughter spine's just chilling down there. Oh, baby. I mean, that tower seems like it's pretty damn powerful, so I can't say I'm surprised that it's knocking all this shit down. Talking far
We're
as
getting close to the tower. Last time I was there, I didn't get very far in.
We'll find a way.
Nice to know that it doesn't shoot people on land, at least as far as we know.
There's some kind of machine growth.
Haven't seen that before. Kinda looks like an egg. Ugh! It hatched a machine!
What? These look like drones from Halo. Sting spawn. Oh, good. Awesome. Oh God.
Let's get this done!
Oh, okay. So you can kill the egg. At least they're one-shot kills. Oh, that's cool.
More of those eggs.
Okay. Those definitely weren't here last time.
Great. Good. Fine. Grand. Just free XP.
Yuck. Those eggs are everywhere.
I've got a feeling we're about to find out what they're doing. Let's move in. Carefully.
Okay. Okay.
Whoa! Big ugly machine alert!
What
We'll
is
have
that?
to deal with it to get into the tower.
Bile gut.
See what you got then.
Oh, it's like a big old
Come
frog.
on, make your move.
Oh.
Gotta follow up all that acid working.
What up, Froggy? What up, Froggy?
Machine doesn't like frogs!
Ah, that's so cool.
Whoa, we've got a jumper!
Oh. Oh God. Oh God. Oh. What's your function, dude?
Machine's hurting! We've almost got it!
Oh my goodness gracious.
Chain reaction. That's useful.
Dude, look at this thing just spewing poison and shit. Wow. Ugh.
Where are you off to?
Down it goes.
Yeah. Good fight. Come on. The entrance I found is this way.
That weave looked nice. What is that? Increases drop shield capacity, smoke bomb capacity, and trap one. Not interested. That thing was all right. I want to take a look here. Bile gut. A large and hazardous acquisition machine launches acid to uncover old world scrap and produces swarms of sting spawn to collect resources. That's cool. So it's literally designed to do that acid so that it can find the old world stuff for salvage. Like I love that the enemies, like all the machines have purpose, so that like they exist for a reason, but then they like attack you. That sucks. That's a cool ass machine though. Where are we going, Seika? Get me to the tower.
I'll have to warn our patrols later. Doubt that machine was the only one of its kind.
Oh no,
Feels
shot.
like every day there's something new that's trying to kill us.
Yep.
I know the feeling.
Whoa.
Through here.
Okay.
Just gotta get across. Think you can make it?
Watch me.
Yeah, I've done harder than this.
This is as far as I got. I couldn't find a way to get further up.
Let me take a look around.
What, you don't possess superhuman strength to pull this thing off a stone?
There we go.
Like that? You like
Make that
that?
look easy.
Yeah, well.
About your fugitive, I need to know who we're dealing with. It can't be a coincidence that he and my people are both at Starlight Rise.
His name's Walter Landra. He's a zenith. It's what the Quen would call a living ancestor.
A living ancestor? But that would mean he's been alive for centuries.
Yep.
Tides take me. You're serious.
Yep. I am. It's interesting. Well, I can understand why she would believe me. I'm a little bit curious about the fact that she doesn't recognize me. But good for her for being willing to integrate that as a possibility, because I think a lot of people would be like, there's no possible way that these people lived for centuries. You're full of shit.
So, the other Quen I met, they,
No.
recognized me. I look like one of your ancestors. But I guess since your diviners are gone, none of your people here made the connection?
Oh. Yeah, those of us left are just sailors and soldiers.
I guess you could say you could say a bit of a big deal. That's probably smart on Aloy's part to ask that, just so that she knows what she's working with.
After you?
And so if they don't know who she is, that can in some ways be a not good thing, because now maybe they don't take her as seriously, or it could help her out because she doesn't have all these preconceived notions about who she is, constraining from having like an authentic interaction in the here and now. So probably a good idea to get a feel for what she does or doesn't know. And she slow played that pretty well, in the sense of like, you know, I just look like one of your ancestors, instead of being like, I'm a literal clone of one. Because we still don't know enough. We don't actually know these Quen. We know the Quen from San Francisco decently okay, but that doesn't tell us anything about these Quen. Just by nature of how like subcultures work. So I appreciate Aloy being a bit more cautious here about it. Oh, I see. God damn it.
Oh. Well, there you go, Seika.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Oh, God.
Think you could get that vent open?
Tonight. Get closer.
Move, please. Thank you.
If I time it right, I think I can grapple to that vent.
Grapple to that vent. Uh-oh. What am I forgetting? Oh, right. There we go. Oh, if I could have...
She flies, she fights machines, and she has fancy moves.
Right? And I'm on your side.
Wish you'd come along earlier. Might have gotten more done by now. I bet you must be pretty important to your tribe.
I grew up an outcast, actually.
Oh. I'm sorry.
I'm better off without them. And from what I saw back at the settlement, maybe you would be too?
I am one of the chosen people. Not some weak-kneed sailor who abandons ship when the seas get rough.
Okay, never mind.
I think, oh god. I think that was a legitimate attempt to connect with her and find some common ground, so I'm not really going to fault Aloy too much for that, but man, you got to be really careful not to make a bunch of assumptions about people when you've only known them for like a day. This happens way too often. People walk into new circumstances and meet new people and see like 3 interactions and they just immediately make a profile and value attributions about people, and like you really shouldn't do that. Like Aloy just coming in there going like, maybe you should outcast from your tribe. Maybe you should just like walk away from him. Seems like you had a pretty shitty interaction there. Why not leave the entire group that you've dedicated your life to being part of and have an identity with? It'd be so easy. And Sega's like, what are you talking about? Like you lose people when you do that. Curiosity over assumption is the way to go every time with new people. You should constantly engage with the idea that you have no idea how this person operates, what she's about, what her values are, or anything like that. And that the only way you're going to figure that stuff out is to be curious about her and to ask questions rather than make assumptions and engage with her off of that. So if Aloy says there's something like, growing up as an outcast wasn't great, but it also meant that I didn't have to deal with a bunch of the bullshit from my tribe, which I really appreciated, and maybe saying something like, it seemed like you are at odds with your tribe, like what's that like for you? Do you feel like an outcast of sorts, and what's your experience of that? Way better way to connect with Seika there than to make that assumption and operate off of that. So good for Seika for pushing back on that. Being like, are you kidding me? I'm one of the chosen people. I'm not you. We're not the same people. We have entirely different contexts that we come from. Don't put that assumption on me. And she's right. Aloy shouldn't do that. God, I feel like I'm in a Destiny raid
shall we
right
continue?
Now. All this parkour. Gotta pull another ceiling down or what? What are we doing here? There's no way I'm jumping out this building. Come on, Seika, you've been here before. Help me out. Am I dropping over there?
Nice shortcut. I'll find another way over.
Good luck.
Haven't scaled a ruin like this since the Navy's endurance drills.
You used to climb ruins as training?
Oh, yeah. Every time we thought we were done, my commander would say, "One more floor!"
Good thing you weren't afraid of heights.
Or were you? Because I don't make assumptions anymore. Because I just watched DrMick's video about that.
Sounds like the tower's found another target.
Tower downed another machine.
Can't wait to shut it down.
Love how convenient there is to have these yellow things just ready to go for us to climb. Oh, baby.
Made it. This definitely looks like something Landra would have built.
Whoa. Okay. But how do we stop it when part of it's way up there?
Let's take a look around.
Got some old coax cables going on here, eh?
This might be some kind of access node.
Never seen anything like this, but there's gotta be a way to stop it.
Yeah, the technology on my staff just happens to work through the encryptions of this.
It's coming down!
Aloy, I truly hope you've enjoyed this tower. I set it up just for you.
Oh, great. Recording from Landra.
Let it be a reminder that unlike my former colleagues, I'm one step ahead of you.
That doesn't look good!
Getting ready to fire at us. Get to cover!
Okay.
How are we supposed to stop this thing?
Let me scan it.
All drones fire! Hey! Over here!
Got a
you
power core on the back.
weird, shiny, hovering
I gotta
slab!
get up there to destroy it.
Just hurry! Leaving all the fun to me?
Alright, where am I climbing? Come on.
I need to get higher up. But how?
Bet you can't get me!
Oh. What? That was a little glitchy.
I gotta keep looking. I need a way up.
Take this!
There's no way this is the way I'm supposed to go.
If there's no easy way up, I might have to make one.
Come on! Here!
Oh, I'm gonna have to have him shoot at me, perhaps, at some crumbled walls if I can't glide my way over there. There we go. What do we have here?
There. Out and up.
Oh, God.
Should And that fire gleam might clear a path.
Thing doesn't let us.
Okay, time to hit that power core.
I think it knows you're up there, Aloy. Take cover. Come on.
Oh, it knows.
Need to target the power core.
Oh, shit.
Yes. It's distracted. Do what you need to.
There. Oh, no good. Got it.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
You okay?
Yeah, still breathing.
I see another core on the front.
On it. Keep distracting it. Got it. Now the one on the front. Gotcha. It's done.
Take that, you flaming pile of scrap.
Yeah. Alright. Elite critical hits. Increases critical hit chance and damage by 15%. Alright. What do you say,
That was
Seika?
intense.
Well, that didn't go exactly how I thought it would.
It turned out okay. And now your machine can get us to Starlight Rise, right?
Yeah. I saw it fly off when I crashed. I should be able to call it back.
One step closer to finding my sister and the living ancestor you're after. But I should probably report to the Admiral first, give him some assurance that we've made progress.
Okay. I'll meet you back at the settlement then.
You know, I'm kind of glad you tagged along.
I was like waiting for her to pull a Batman and like use her cape, just like glide down. Alright.
Seika's not like other Quen. That's for sure. And with the tower down, I could check out the area before meeting up with her. Maybe stock up on some resources while I'm at it.
Yeah, that would be nice. We could definitely do that. Oh my god. There we go. Hey, can I wait? Oh, I can fly now. Oh, that's huge. Hey, come here, bud.
There we go. Back to the skies.
Beautiful. Excellent. I don't even know where I want to go. Like, I'm gonna go back to the settlement, because
Need to find a spot for her.
unless I got a mission. Oh man, this is so nice to be able to just... God, this area is so big. Let's go find out what that is. I guess I'm still a little confused why LA's covered in lava. Maybe just because it's cool. Alright, what are we doing? Going to USC?
Some sort of old world signal over there. Might be worth looking into.
Hollywood? Whoa, dude, you kidding me? That's badass. What do we got here? Examine improvised transmitter.
This transmitter, there's corrupted data on it. And it's linked to a flight path? Maybe if I follow its trail, my focus can repair the data. I should fly to the starting coordinates up in the air nearby.
Birdie. Hey, birdie.
Aha! Coordinates for a flight path.
Okay. Yeah. All right, flight path. Go.
Okay, I think my focus is repairing the transmitter data.
Wee. Whoa. Oh God.
Huh. Data's still repairing, but there's an audio log.
Barely made it back today. We were sent to extract data of great importance to Zero Dawn. Our mission led us to this freaking bougie baby clinic in the hills. Why does a superweapon need info on embryo storage? Soldiers, civilians, we're being churned into biomass slushies for this?
Ah, yes. Problem with the need-to-know basis.
None of it added up. But there wasn't time to dig deeper. The swarm was eating the hills around us. We barely got back to the vert. The 4th, 9th, and 11th LRBs put up a good fight against the Titan. I doubt many survived.
This is a cool way to get story.
Pasha always said one day he'd buy a mansion with a view of the Hollywood sign. Then he died for Zero Dawn. Whatever the hell it really is.
The public couldn't know the truth. Elizabeth knew it was the only way.
It's true. We talked about this during Zero Dawn. So you'll recall, I basically said the same thing. Like the whole issue with this is that if everybody knew what Zero Dawn actually was, that it wasn't in any way designed to save who was currently alive, it would have been just pandemonium. And so it's like, if you're going to preserve humanity, which is, you know, even that wasn't a particularly democratic decision. Like, I'm sure there were probably some folks that were like, I don't give a shit about the next generation. Save them. Let's figure out how to save me. Save us. Save what we have, not what we hope we'll have. But yeah, if you're going to accomplish that, people can't know that they're doomed. You got to have... when people deal with the reality of, like, their impending doom, you got all sorts of kind of, like, survival stuff that kicks in, and you'll just stop caring. Where, like, if you think that contributing to Zero Dawn might save you, you have that survival stake. I mean, just horrific, the decisions that had to be made while this was going on. Like, look at that. Imagine being in LA and there's these big-ass Horus robots coming to grind you into biomass. Oh. Do love that the Hollywood sign's in here, though. That's great. A big ass robot on top of it. Oh, got it. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Damn, man. I could just fly around and enjoy the beauty of this. Alright, let's go see. Oh, see? Look at this thing. Now we got. Let's go over here. See, now I got stuff to do. Flying is such a game changer for this game. What is this? I don't know what I was expecting. Alright. So obviously I'm eventually
Hollywood.
gonna have...
Data I found called it the Land of Dreams. I guess it finally met reality.
Hollywood's a shithole. It really is. I was so unimpressed when I went for the first time. I was like, what the hell? Ugh. Maintenance report. Hiked up to the sign and did an inspection. The coating is working up to spec. Reapplied the nanite mixture on one corner of the second L that seems to have been missed when initially applied. Aside from that, there's no sign of weathering or decay. So far, the protection is as good or better than what we saw on the test surfaces in Vegas. Barring unforeseen circumstances, the new gunk should keep this sucker safe well into the next data corrupt. Oh. It truly, it is darkness. It truly is. What's going on here?
Be some kind of cooling mechanism. I better leave it alone for now.
Look at all the water it's wasting. Alright. Come here, birdie. Love that it's called Heaven's Rest. Alright, ye fire Gwen Hawks. Oh, my goodness gracious.
They're searching for me.
Oh, hi there. Got more wide maws out here. I can smell some brimstone. What up, big boy? Open your mouth. There we go. Pangea figurine. Whoa. This gonna be like the animals from Montana Recreations. Enter code. Don't have it.
I need a code to get inside.
Alright. The fandom zone. Alright. Or I could just, why can't I just go through that window?
Huh. This data says someone carved their code at the top of the nearby tower.
Thinks he's such a hotshot, waving around the VIP NGN card. Sure, he takes you out, maybe wins you something at Raptor Raid. Next thing you know, he's at the Lakewood store, giggling away with Vicky. They carved their names at the top of the tower next door with a little heart and their anniversary. He's even using it as a passcode now. So cringe. Joke's on him, though. Management's going to freak when they find out it's carved up there. Pack your bags, Elijah. Akira. Okay. Carved initials at the top of the page. How romantic.
Okay, let's see if that code's still up here.
Oh, E loves V. 11-14-64.
I wish you there. Ancient figurine. Looks like it was part of a set.
An ancient figurine of a flying razor-toothed dinosaur, preserved and digitally notarized. When mild-mannered Jane arrived for her first day at Port Tech, she was just employee number 4331. Little did she know that she'd be face-to-face with a deadly Dimorphodon mere hours later, the first of many she would defeat in combat. Now her iconic first foe is soaring out of the hollows and onto your shelf with this limited re-release of the DIM-279 Pangea figurine. Stored electronic authenticity label. Recent transactions sold by Jane for President. Sold to TFZ Wholesale Limited. Condition mint. Ooh.
And there's data here too. I'll just hold on to it for now.
Personally, I would have invested in dinosaur NFTs, but you know, hindsight, you know. I prefer my fungible tokens to be non. Hey, thanks for watching my videos, YouTube. Appreciate you sticking along for this playthrough, and those of you that are here with me live, I appreciate you as well. It's such a neat game to play. Never know how deep into the analysis we're going to get at any given point in time, but even the filler episodes are enjoyable to me. Alright. I say go back to the camp and find out what's next. Apex wide. Come here, birdie. Enjoy this water. It's so perfect. What is this?
Getting down now.
Seika, where you at, girl?
Is it time to head out? Okay, so shall we get going to Starlight Rise?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, let's go.
So what now?
Hop on.
Up you go.
Come on, be brave. Let's go.
Something wrong?
Of course not. Oh, it's a little snug.
I'll manage.
Oh, shit!
Well, Aloy.
Hold on back there.
Start.
These two need to have a little bit of a talk. This is like Aloy basically interacting with herself. At least it seems that way to me. Like, Aloy is super comfortable with a lot of stuff. And because Seika is putting out this idea that she is like strong, independent, capable, takes no shit from anybody, willing to do all this like rebel hardcore stuff, Aloy's taking her like expertise and confidence, and they're and is like running with it in a way that I don't think Seika's ready for. I think for Aloy, it's probably really refreshing to see somebody else who is not anti, but maybe like a rebel from the tribe that she's in. I think Aloy probably sees a lot of herself in Seika, and maybe even sees this as like a potential like mentoring type relationship in that way. But Aloy gets to be this like badass who's facilitating the development of another badass, and I think Seika is still trying to find her footing with that kind of identity. So Aloy it'd be nice if maybe they had a little bit of a conversation of like, this is going to get intense, and neither one of us needs to act like we're more capable than we are. We are both incredibly capable. We can do anything that we need to do here. We just showed that through taking out the tower. But we also need to be honest with each other. If you're nervous about something, or you have hesitance about something, or you're anxious about something, or worried, upset, whatever it may be, we need to be able to put these things on the table if we're going to work together here, because this is a pretty serious mission that we're on here. And you have your reasons for doing this, and I have mine, and I don't want to have either one of us be compromised because we're trying to come off as more capable when maybe there's a conversation that's worthy of being had here. So, but I think there's a bit of similarity projection going on for both of them in some ways.
Rise is just across the water. I guess we'll see if this living ancestor has something to do with my missing people.
Look, once we get into the ruin, we might find data that your focus model isn't able to make sense of. I'm sending you an update, so you'll be able to see what's going on.
Oh, thanks. You sure seem at ease with the focus. Is that why your tribe made you an outcast?
No, not exactly. They cast me out when I was born. In fact, everything I've done, including learning to use a focus, was, in spite of them.
Sounds familiar.
It gets easier, you know.
What? Clinging to the back of a sunwing?
That too?
Just worry about steering this thing, okay?
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, there it is. Aloy sees Seika as a younger version of her. Probably wants to be, not Rost, but wants to be a mentor to some extent. Doesn't want her to go through some of the stuff she had to go through, or maybe wants to make it a little bit easier on her. And I think there's value in that, but I also think you have to be careful. Like, just because there are similarities doesn't mean that they have similar objectives and that they are equal in terms of the context that they come from. So having these conversations about being an outcast and finding those similarities is really awesome. But my hope is that Aloy is going to find it in her to be curious about Seika and, again, learn more about her rather than make a bunch of assumptions. Because the thing that you run into, unfortunately, when you see yourself in somebody else, is you project that onto them. And there's a tendency sometimes to like oversimplify your understanding of them using your own experience rather than finding their nuance and working with that. So if Aloy makes a bunch of assumptions about Seika's experience because of her own experiences, she's more likely to miss the mark with Seika. So cool to have some real empathy there and connect with her on a fundamental level, but also definitely need to be more mindful about the ways in which they are potentially different, because that's where a real, I think, joint appreciation is going to come from. And I do agree. Aloy is quite a bit more empathic with Seika than she was with Beta. I think partly because of the reasons we're talking about. I think Aloy now has experience with being with somebody that she projects herself onto. But I think she saw Beta as having a lot of the traits that she rejects, as we talked about back in the Forbidden West playthrough. Whereas I think with Seika, she sees a lot of the parts of herself that she idealizes. So I think the mixture of learning from her experience with Beta and seeing some of the more appreciated traits that she has in Seika makes it a lot easier for her to access empathy than it did for Beta. Oh, is that the observatory? Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Down on the beach. Those are some of our missing scout boats.
And it looks like there's a lot of construction on the hillside.
That's what Diviner Vi saw.
Let's try to retrace their steps then. I'll set us down.
Let's go to Dodger Stadium.
Solid ground. Thank the ancestors.
Okay, we should follow your people's trail. See if we can figure out why they were here.
Looks like they left some equipment behind.
Weapon of Quen design can fire bolts into the environment that can be climbed or grappled to or damage machines.
Wouldn't want to be on the wrong end of this.
Quen Navy weapon. We use them to build rope bridges and perimeter defense.
How much one of these arrows costs? Like $10?
I think I can climb up there now.
Oh, what's going on here?
The ballista tore straight through the machine's armor. This bolt looks pretty sturdy too.
My people had to fight while they built all this, but they kept going anyway.
Let's stay on their trail.
I mean, she talks about the Quen with a level of reverence that Aloy never did with the Nora. So there already is a difference. I mean, we saw it in the pushback that Seika had in the tower when Aloy tried to suggest that she be an outcast, but those are the types of things you have to listen for in order to understand your differences. So that we can see Seika as her own woman in the same way that Aloy wants to be seen that way.
But why?
I'm not sure. I bet Landra's involved.
Well, looks like they set up some ladders to get up to that excavation. But the path's broken now.
We'll have to make our own way up.
However will we do that? Perhaps we'll use this very convenient ballista.
We can use the bolts as climbing points!
That's enough! Heading up to take a look!
Huh. Fast climber. I, better catch up to her.
There's a door up there across the chasm. Let's see if there's a way up.
Way up looks broken. Maybe the clamberjaws did it.
Hold on! I've got an idea!
Yeah, crank that
What are you
ballista up
doing?
here.
We can use this ballista to make another path!
Yeah. Crank it.
That's as high as it goes!
Oh, good, because as high as we need it to be.
Should do it. Let's get climbing.
Okay, letting her go. That thing was heavier than it looked.
I mean, it looks pretty damn heavy.
Making progress.
Yeah, right into the spooky abandoned ruin.
Yeah, so, okay. Here, the parallels between Seika and Beta are actually pretty cool, but there's a very fundamental difference, and this is why I think that Aloy is engaging with Seika in a way that, like, really is affording her a positive regard, which is she expresses fear and hesitation, but then goes for it. Whereas Beta would experience some hesitation and then back off. So she had a very much like, well, I'm worried about this, so we shouldn't do it. Whereas Seika is like, I'm scared of that bird, but I'm going to hop on. I'm scared of the ruin, but I'm going to go in anyway. Which is very much in line with the way that Aloy tends to tackle things. So, like, right there, process-wise, is a difference where, yes, both might express a degree of hesitation. They might not be the optimists that Aloy tends to be in terms of her belief in her ability to do whatever it is that she wants to do or puts her mind to. But that willingness to see the anxiety and then decide to push through with that hardiness is something that Aloy obviously values, because it's something that she's done and it's paid dividends for her throughout her life. And I think the lesson in that is that there are different, like, the anxiety of a situation, the awareness of the weight of a given scenario is totally okay to have. And it can be a shared experience by everybody involved. But the difference between people who manage it in healthy versus unhealthy ways, or in useful versus non-useful ways in like the game here, is what do you do with the anxiety, which is something that I talk about ad nauseum in every single playthrough, so I'm not going to belabor the point too much. But, like, you can be worried about flying on the back of the whatever the name of the machine is, and still hop on and trust Aloy and trust in your instincts and ability to navigate that adversity and improvise. Or you could lean into that anxiety, ask yourself a bunch of what ifs, and stay on the beach. And sometimes there's utility to that. But sometimes you got to make a decision that is difficult to make while anxious, not in absence of it.
Your people put a lot of effort into getting in here. Almost like they were after something.
Or someone had a knife to their throats.
We'll find your sister. Don't worry.
You don't have to comfort me, you know. I'm fine.
I want to help.
This is so great. This is so great. This is Aloy's gonna have to do. You're gonna have to do some self work here. I mean, this has some eerily similar vibes to the God of War Valhalla DLC right now, where, like, Aloy is here having to work with somebody who handles adversity in the environment very similarly. So when how do I want to do it? But she's still not particularly skilled at doing the thing, but she's also not realizing that Seika is going to receive that type of sentiment the same way that she would. So Seika apparently seems to have a narrative that showing any kind of like sadness or worry or anxiety is something that makes her weak. So we see her do this like cognitive override and then push through and like, I'm fine, I don't need no blah blah blah. We see the little glimpse of it, and then she overrides it. She compensates for it. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But Aloy is obviously picking up on this. So when she says, or they had a knife to their throat, that pings Aloy to say, like, okay, so she's worried about her sister. But 100 times out of 100, friends, the phrase, don't worry, when somebody is worrying, is not useful. Or it's just, it's not a, it's like, it's telling somebody who's panicking to calm down. It's not going to work. And Aloy would have heard this exactly the same way, where it's not about the worry. It's about the worry being acknowledged. So the fact for Seika, for example, the fact that Aloy can see the worry is the problem, not necessarily the way that Aloy interacted. Like, saying don't worry isn't useful, but for Seika, even more than that, it's, oh shit, Aloy sees that there is something going on for me, which means that she must see me, or I see me, as weak in that regard. So then the response to an attempt to connect with her and engage empathically is lost, and she compensates by saying, I don't need you to take care of me. I don't need you to comfort me, because I don't need you to see me as weak, which is the way that I see me when I express these things. So now she's shutting down an attempt to have Aloy reach out and connect with her and have a shared experience with her, because of her aversion to the narrative she's built about what it means to be vulnerable. So you have two people misfiring here, which now leaves them in a very awkward position, where Aloy is saying, I'm just trying to help, and Seika's like, I don't need you to do that. When the reality is, there could have been a very meaningful exchange there, where neither one of them is perfect in the way that they're handling it, but they can mutually share that experience and go like, all right, cool, like, you seem to get me, and I seem to get you, and this could really be a solid working relationship. It's fascinating. It's always fascinating to me the way that these dynamics develop. I see them as like a puzzle that you have to figure out how to put together, and watching that process as a way to do that. So I hope what I just said makes sense. And yeah, it's not your responsibility to make her feel better about this, Aloy. Like, the way that Aloy could react to that would be like, it sounds like you're worried. That makes a lot of sense. Let's get this figured out. That's a lot better than saying don't worry. That's Aloy in a lot of ways taking on this sense of responsibility for her, of saying, you're with me and you should share the level of confidence in my ability to get this done as I have. And that's a huge ask, given the fact that Aloy doesn't have nearly as much at stake here in her own, like, subjective way as Seika does. Are there any goodies in here for Uncle Ryan? All right, good. Landra's inner circle revealed. News item. Walter Landra, the CEO of Heaven Sent, is right where he wants to be, front and center on the public stage. His ultra-luxe lifestyle is constantly on display for all to see, but his inner circle has remained off limits until now. In this exclusive scoop, we're shining the light on his closest confidants. Since they first met 3 years ago, Walter and his glamorous A-list wife, Evelyn Day Landra, have been inseparable. Except when Evelyn's fighting dinosaurs on the hollow screen, of course. The pair were spotted just 2 nights ago, cozying up at Bareback's annual gala. Cute. Landra's right hand is Jack Hoffman, ex-mountaineer turned bodyguard. Jack keeps Landra safe, wherever fame takes him. But it's not just a job. Walter and Jack have been BFFs since the early days. Landra even sourced and bought an original, last of its kind, gas-powered Marchetti Tramonto for Jack's birthday. Wow. Next is Nolan Bartnev, Landra's financial architect. Nolan's got the fun job, spending Landra's hard-earned cash. Think balancing investment portfolios, funding Landra's entertainment ventures, and keeping his exclusive Pacific-based yacht hub afloat. Not to mention, of course, footing the bill at Walter's fave hot gastro spot, Sevilla's. Meanwhile, ambitious Riley Lee was a rising star in corporate PR, garnering rapid success with positions at Sterling Malkeet and First Imperator, before ditching the office suite to manage Landra's publicity team. Now, she vets every social engagement, selecting the privileged few who get to rub shoulders with the genius himself. Finally, Parker Hirsch is Landra's personal aesthetics advisor, the man behind Landra's impeccable wardrobe and iconic chiseled profile. This coveted esthetician built his career at LA's most fabulous fashion houses and surgeries. The world has Parker to thank for the Landra look, sweeping the Og beauty scene. Oh, God. Meanwhile, countless people are starving, don't have access to health care.
Climber jaws. Stay alert.
No machine stopping me.
Yeah, see, like that. You know, no machine stopping me. I ain't no weak-ass punk bitch.
That sign. This is definitely Landra's old headquarters.
Down there. What is that thing?
Let's find out.
I gotta say, Heaven Sent is a beautiful, perfect company name. Whoever came up with that idea.
Regarding the slipstream engine, my engineers tell me that even in the event of an accident, they could contain the fallout. But they don't grasp how effectively my enemies can harness public paranoia. That's the real fallout.
It's a recording of Landra. From before he left Earth.
All this must have been brutal to excavate.
It's a prototype for a rocket engine. It never got off the ground. The way it was designed made it too dangerous.
Dangerous how?
Like it would poison everything in a 1,000-mile radius if it got used.
Oh.
Let's keep moving.
So this engine, it was for traveling to the heavens? The diviners say the ancestors could do that.
Yeah. Landra launched ships into space to search for resources.
But why dig all this out now?
We should keep following the trail.
Okay.
Because he's trying to get away from the Mega Ball. Would be my guess. Executive summary. Our engineering team has made great strides in developing a prototype nuclear thermal rocket that can provide significantly more thrust than traditional liquid-based boosters. There's little doubt that our proprietary designs for miniature fission reactors would eventually result in cheaper, smaller, and more efficient engines, capable of achieving launch velocity for significant payloads. That said, our radiation shielding is insufficient to protect the environment from a large-scale exposure to fallout. Estimates suggest that upon launch, the current model could contaminate a radius of up to 1,000 miles at lethal levels, depending on wind conditions. The work required to reach comprehensive regulatory targets for shielding would almost certainly be cost prohibitive. For that reason, the board has determined that the project should be canceled effective immediately. Yeah, so you got Chernobyl in a box here.
Whew. Getting hot in here.
So take off all your clothes, I am getting
Whoa.
so hot. Oh boy.
The ruins split in two. Quen pressed on.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Crushed. It looks like some kind of construction accident.
This was Lena from the galley. We weren't exactly friends, but she didn't deserve to be worked to death. How could an ancestor do this to my people?
Knowing Landra and his kind, I can't say I'm surprised.
Yep.
We better find a way up and across. We'll need to make a path.
So that's a really interesting view there that Seika has about Landra. And we know that the Far Zeniths are not particularly kind people. But I think that Seika's like wondering, how could the Far Zeniths do this to us? How could the ancestors do this to us? Comes from more than just naivete. I think it comes from the fact that if you are a culture that knows about Zero Dawn, like if you know the general gist of it, which is that the ancestors of the past developed a protocol that was designed to try to take care of future generations and restart humanity. I think the general consensus about that group of people would be that you idealize them. Why wouldn't you? If all of us existed, if we magically uncovered something in the Roman ruins from like centuries ago or something, that all of life on Earth was extinguished and there was a Roman protocol developed in order to restart humanity in like 1700, we'd probably look back on those people like, dude, they did us a solid. Like, I owe my existence to them. So if you are seeing then that an ancestor exists, that one of those people still exists, and they're actively hurting the people that they worked so very hard to try to make sure existed, you might look at something like this and be like, why would you do that? Just sort of a hypothesis about like why that would, it could very well just be a sense of wonderment, but the representation that the Quen have of the ancestors, it seems to be that they are like benevolent and kind. Or if they don't know about, okay, so they don't know about Zero Dawn. Well, then nullify whatever I just said. It's hard to keep track of the timelines on all of that.
Another ballista. Maybe we can use it.
I'll shoot this time.
By all means.
Man, y'all put these in the most convenient spaces
I made you a
possible.
handhold in the bridge there. Try and get to that ballista further up.
Okay.
Think you can make the jump?
I can
Oh
reach
God.
it. Uh-oh.
I can help! Keep him still and I'll shred him with the ballista!
Okay. Just don't shred me.
Right.
The last of them!
So, yet another example of the way that they see each other. Notice how both of them express a degree of hesitation about the other's ability, despite the fact that each of them seem to know that they're very capable. Like, Aloy goes to jump on the bridge, and Seika's like, "Can you make it?" Seika says she's going to shoot a ballista arrow through one of the monkeys, and Aloy's like, "Well, don't shoot me." Like, they immediately make an assumption of incompetence, despite the fact that each of them has shown that they are nothing but competent. And it's a real, like... the only phrase I can use, it's not the right phrase to use, but it's like, their dicks are out right now. Like, they're totally dick measuring right now.
I'm gonna make a few handholds for myself, then I'll finish your path.
And I think they're like...
This reminds me of target practice out at sea. My squad held a wager over who could hit the most marks. Winner wouldn't have to swap decks.
Let me guess. You won?
There, you learn fast.
Look how cool I am. Yeah, I mean, look, if you're actually legitimately super good at what you do, and you know you're super good at what you do, you don't get threatened by how good other people are at the thing that you do. Like when you are, and so this speaks to me that there is still a degree of insecurity and hesitancy in Aloy and in Seika. That Aloy is not fully embracing of the fact that she is capable. Because like if Aloy was the best basketball player in the world, she wouldn't care how good Seika is at basketball because she knows she's really good at it. It's the person who knows they're good but constantly freaks out and is threatened by other people also being good that is doomed to not be the best because you're spending so much time comparing and getting into your insecurities about it instead of just working hard and ensuring that you continue to be the best at what you do. So we're seeing a bit of these bits of insecurity that each of them have, which I'm not saying are a bad thing. It's just interesting to me that when you put Aloy in a position where she's around somebody who's so similar to her and is capable and she perceives as being capable, each of them start to get into their posturing on how good they are. And it's really interesting to watch. And I am so glad that we have Seika with us on this journey instead of doing it alone as Aloy. For that reason. How are you going to get over here? I want to see. Oh, you're going to go. Okay. Yep, go ahead. Lay right in front of the screen, buddy. There you go. Perfect. stupid lamp.
Okay, another ballista. Time to return the favor.
Make a path over here!
No need, TL. I've tapped you into my focus.
Whoa. Hi.
Hi there.
So, how about those climbing points? Nice job. That's enough to get me to the first ledge. Okay, now to get up there.
Might be a little bit of interest there. Maybe.
Made it. Let's see where this leads.
Watch out, more clamberjaws.
I see him.
This is my kind of shreds and machines.
Oh, you think you can do better than me?
We'll see. These things hit hard.
I'll do it while I'm on fire.
Got it.
God damn it. Hey, Seika, how about you do something? Holy shit. Alright.
That's all of them. And, I think I just set a new ballista record.
Yeah. I guess you're a decent shot. Now, last climb. You know what to do.
Yep, on it.
Are we gonna, like, make out when we get to this?
Heading up.
That should do it. Just gotta find my way over.
Think you can make it?
Oh, just watch me.
I mean, Aloy's most attracted to herself then? Well, I don't know that that's a terrible thing to, like, want to be with somebody who possesses traits that you also idealize about yourself. Like, I think there's a reflection of self-esteem in that kind of thing. So, like, if Aloy is attracted to Seika for that reason, I don't think that's weird. Like, that's one of those things where it's like, okay, cool. Like, I'm strong, I'm capable, I believe in myself, I kick ass all the time, and now I've met somebody who can hang. That's awesome. But I think the other thing to remember, and I know we talked about this in a couple other playthroughs, is that people also get attracted to folks who bring things out in themselves that they either idealize or don't necessarily always have access to. Aloy is always the most capable person in the room, at least for the most part. And so to have somebody with her who's just as capable, who embodies all these traits that she values, would be attractive, in part because Aloy might actually experience a bit of the not being the best one in the room. And that can be awesome. We talked about this with Mimir and Sigrun in God of War. I won't say any more than that.
One lava-filled chasm conquered.
You did pretty well back there. We're, not a bad team.
Glad you think so. I always wanted a sidekick.
Okay, I see how it is.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Hey. Hey. Come on, guys. Guys, you can't just climb on top of each other in front of my screen.
After you.
That's
Can't
not
open
gonna
doors
work.
without your sidekick,
Okay.
huh?
Just giving you a chance to shine.
Go cuddle on the couch. Jiro's literally laying in front of the screen, and then Jack literally climbed on top of him. It's like laying on top of him. Like, I want to cuddle. Don't.
All right, let's see where my people's trail leads. All of this is so old. What could they possibly have wanted from this place?
Good question.
Let's read and find out. Or listen.
The doubters whined that the city would never sell its precious landmark. The price was indeed astronomical. But the observatory could have no better steward than I. Perfect headquarters for one whose vision extends to the stars.
An observatory?
A place where anyone could look at the stars. Until Landra took over anyway.
I got to see Jupiter through the telescope there a couple years ago. It was awesome. Like, look into the telescope and it's like, there's Jupiter in all its glory. It's crazy. Text mail from HC Legal Gannon. From Robert Gannon to Walter Landra. Free and clear. Walter, great news. Our lobbying efforts finally paid off and the legislature passed our bill prohibiting further litigation regarding the observatory. So after 9 years, 14 community-based claims, 7 state suites, a class action and congressional investigation, not to mention a spectacular $3 billion renovation, there is no longer any pending legal action surrounding our magnificent headquarters. Maybe now people can just relax and meditate on what they should have known all along. This historic landmark is in much better hands than it ever was with the public. I sent you a case of Shoals Reserve 18 to celebrate. Think of all the protesters as you pour yourself a glass, then savor the smoky taste of victory. Best, Bob. Ugh. Ugh. It's not entirely unrealistic, though, unfortunately. You know, the more resources you have, the more power you have. It's just the reality of it. That goes back to early human existence. The more rocks you had, the more territory you had, the more edible food you had, the more fresh water you have, the more power you have. Now it's just a little more nuanced with fiat currency. Problem with all of this is that the more you get, past a particular type of echelon where you can essentially resource your way out of any kind of trouble, and you can just throw your weight around with no consequence to yourself, is you can get way disconnected, and do get way disconnected from the reality of so many people, infinitely more people than your experience when you're that super rich. Even if you come from nothing, you have enough resources for that long of a period of time, you're going to run out of touch with it because you have power. And the evolutionary boxes that ticks are so profound that it literally changes people's behavior. It changes people's perceptions of other humans. So the idea that he would take over this observatory, make it his own, and then spin it in a direction where it's essentially, I'm doing everybody a favor by selfishly taking this over and investing billions of dollars and making everybody's life a living hell while there's real problems that are going on, is a testament to how out of touch you get. My problems, my problems are as important as anybody else's, but I possess the resources to actually throw my weight around and actually get stuff done about it, and that inherently gives you way more privilege than others. Like, money matters. People who have currency and resources, it matters. There is real power there. And when you have a huge disparity in that, to a point that nobody else is going to reach those types of levels, or only a very small handful of people on a planet that's got billions of people on it are going to have that, you start to run into some real problems where resources start dictating the terms more than people do.
Faro Automated Solutions upped their orders for 6 different non-terrestrial minerals this month. Our inventory is running low. What are you up to, Ted? Promising new project? Or just another monument to yourself?
Landra in business with Pharaoh. Why am I not surprised?
Of course! It's like George Carlin said. It's a club, and you ain't in it. They are. I mean, at some point, it just all becomes so disgustingly masturbatory that it's like, it's just really hard to watch and keep a level head while you see it. Look what I can do. Just because I can.
Damn it.
Oh.
Another one.
Look at all these workplace accidents.
Crushed by rubble. Maybe when digging this out.
I think his name was Kira. They couldn't even give him a proper burial.
Well, OSHA's definitely not happy about the status of Heaven Sent. Wouldn't that be amazing if you put all this effort into taking over the observatory and then OSHA just takes him down? It'd be great.
I'll put this to good use.
Nice find.
Sky Hammer? Powerful weapon shows off the Ostram's renowned spark of ingenuity. Its elemental bombs strike like a sudden storm, smashing enemies out of the sky and leveling the battlefield. News item. Arrow Daily. The acquisition of Ophelia, the first heaven-sent asteroid, is the stuff of legend. often referred to as one of the riskiest bets in the history of American business. Can you talk to me about your mindset leading up to that moment? It was simple, really. I saw that my competitors were hung up on all the post-acquisition obstacles. Government approval, orbital permits, how to print the mining rigs, getting materials back to the surface. The list goes on and on. But I knew all those things would fall in place once the rock was on its way to Earth. So you just reached out and took it. Exactly. Ophelia was pretty far out when we gave it a push. I knew it would take 6 months to reach Earth orbit, but once it was on its way, everyone had a deadline. And the gains went from theoretical to tangible. It's amazing how fast all the regulations and third parties fell into place once it became clear that 4,000 tons of precious ores were sailing through the heavens right into our hands. Scientists say that gravity rules the solar system, but greed is a powerful force too. That it is.
I'll get a good trade for this.
No! My god, I almost just walked right past
Another
all
Quen
this.
camp.
Where have they all... Oh.
Probably all dead. Rough parchment lined with Quen's script, written in a barely legible, shaky hand. The past days of blood, sweat, tears, my hands shaking. Reaching this inner was a painstaking, much due to the ruin excavated, lest the come crashing down. Lena in a collapse, he ordered us where she fell, day and night. Reached this. What did this person just like not? It's like the castle. Well, if he was dying, he would just say, write it, he'd just say it. The castle. Ooh. No. Back of the throat.
It's a mural. Painted by a Quen?
Yeah. I think so.
Why would they leave this here?
Doesn't matter. Let's keep moving.
If you say so.
Quite a display.
Yeah. Let's see what we can find.
So badass. Okay, so here's the Earth.
Locked with a code. We'll need a way through.
Maybe there's something on these consoles.
Looks like we can access the hologram from here.
Huh. There's data here. Let me see what I can access. A lot is corrupted, but it looks like some logs survived. I might be able to play them.
I found Evelyn in the control room. rooting through the logs for Landra's passcode. Not sure how she got past security, but yeah, she's not doing so good. Just kept banging on Landra's door, begging him to save her. I told her he was gone, but she just kept wailing. They had to drag her out.
That was the last recording. Everything else is from before 2065.
How many logs did you find?
3. No, 4.
4 entries, 4 digits. The recording said this Evelyn was looking in the data for the code. Let's try to find it.
Okay.
Looks like that unlocked another console. This displays an archive for Landra's asteroid missions over the years. It looks like I can navigate it with my focus, so I'm not tied to the console.
Okay. Playing the first log. Uploading it to your Focus 2 for reference.
2050. A year of triumph. That first mission silenced 1,000 naysayers. When we acquired the asteroid, they held their breath. When we returned with the wealth of planets, they came crawling, hats in hand. Ah, that fight will always be dear to me. And to history.
See those rocks floating around the Earth? I see data on them with the focus. I think we need to scan the asteroids.
Asteroid Prospero. Our second successful acquisition of mid-sized asteroid with massive amounts of cobalt, among other ores, could bring as much as 7 trillion USD if we can efficiently excavate all its minerals. Where's the other? HMC
This is the year the log mentioned, but there are 2 numbers. Which one is for the code?
He mentioned the flight. Sounded like it was pretty special for him.
Must be the flight number then.
Yeah, that could be the first digit of the code.
Not a bad start. Let me know when you're ready to hear the next log.
This is cool. Alright, first successful mission, transfer the asteroid to Earth's orbit, harvested 4,000 tons of precious ores, a landmark for the company and the world, a promise of the heavens delivered. Alright, so 3.
No data in that one.
Seven, quite the bounty, a sizable rock dense with lithium. We already have 6 of the largest battery manufacturers lined up for contracts. 8, the board opposed this mission, but ultimately I convinced them that the rewards outweighed the risks.
Let me know when you're ready to hear the next
Our
log.
haul, a massive supply of platinum, at least 2 million tons. Evelyn will be pleased. I have plans to surprise her with a ring. This is elaborate. 9, one of the biggest rocks we've brought home with our best haul of iridium, up to 7,000 tons. Jello Lunar Resources has spun up PR campaign against us, highlighting the risk of the asteroid might break up into orbit. A desperate move from a competitor on the ropes. HMC3, the legislative battle with Jello Lunar
Ready to play the
Resources
next
rages
log.
on,
Just
but
let
in
me
the
know.
end, our lobbying efforts will win out. Due to the asteroid's internal structure and the presence of many high-density ores, projections indicate it could take about 5 years to strip it of all its cobalt.
It's corrupted. On to the next.
Dude, how many years is this? Holy shit, 15 years? 8. The legal wrangling over claims to titania is finally settled. We had to hire lawyers from 6 different firms, but the asteroid's high concentration of palladium and osmium will more than cover their fees. I can only imagine.
Just tell me when you're ready for the next one.
Two, a cornucopia of pure nickel, gold, and iron, but the real prize is a 4,000-ton deposit of ruthenium. Solar cell manufacturers will be elbowing each other out of the way as they line up for contracts. 5, a high density of rhodium and other rare minerals made this rock a must-have. But an accident during the orbital excavation phase killed 8 miners, causing an international uproar. Settlement deal has been struck with the families of the deceased.
Just tell me when you're ready for the next one.
The price of progress. Oh, God. That's the price of progress.
There's nothing on that one.
4. The pure ore on Falstaff should enable us to process enough gallium to supply the semiconductor industry for years. Regulators have flagged it for exceeding orbital size limits, but by our measurements, it's only about 5% over. So the fine should be mild. Yep. Dude, rules aren't rules. For like, if you only have to pay a fine, it's not a law for rich people. 6, a valuable acquisition with an unusually high density of chromium. Faro Automated Solutions has already negotiated an exclusive 3-year deal.
Just tell me when you're ready for the next
Paid
one.
up front. I'm always happy to take Ted's money, that's for sure. Sure you are. 2065.
No data in that one.
All right, next log.
Okay, let's hear the next one.
Accessing it now.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock is worth the risk. Once we grab it, I'll make Evelyn a platinum ring so she can wear our success wherever she goes.
What a great guy. No year in this log. Just a mention of platinum.
Oh, platinum. This must be the right mission. But which number?
Not sure. I'll replay the audio log.
I've convinced the board the amount of platinum on that rock is worth the risk.
2 million tons.
Once we grab it,
So
I'll
3-2.
make Evelyn a platinum ring so she can wear our success wherever she goes.
Don't think it's the flight number this time.
No, it's the 2. All right, let's go.
Yeah. The log mentioned the amount of platinum.
Yep.
Figure it
It
out?
did. Yep.
Think so.
Go.
Let me know when you're ready for the third one.
Let's go.
Ready.
Okay, here it comes.
The accident has disturbed the ants, lawyers and publicists swarming to do damage control, carping about incalculable losses. Now what they don't see
8.
is that each death is a lesson in complacency, inspiring us to future excellence.
He doesn't
Oh,
see his
God.
workers as people, does he?
Nope. Full objectification. Pretty sure it was 8. Yep. 8.
This one mentions miners. 8 people lost their lives, and Landra shrugged it off like it was nothing? I'll leave it to you to pick the right number.
Well, we've got 3 digits. Just one more to find.
Guess we'll know for sure when we plug them all in. Ready for the next log.
Let's hear it.
Playing it now.
My chief competitor tried to block me in Congress. But I'll have that cobalt no matter how many years it takes to dig out. Xiaolu lunar resources can stay on the moon. Everything else belongs to me.
Okay, I think I know what to look for.
All right, 1 second. There. I uploaded the last of the logs to your focus.
Thanks. As soon as I find the last number, I'll enter the full code upstairs.
Thenium.
Xiaolu and Cobalt. This must be it.
5. 3285.
Wow, you actually did it.
I sure did. And we'll investigate his living quarters in part 3. Thank you very much, friends, for watching this video and for hanging out with me as we dig deeper into the secrets of LA. This is pretty cool. I think there's going to be a lot of cool stuff in there, and I want to make sure that I am fully awake and present to talk about whatever's going to go on in there. So, I leave you on a slight cliffhanger at an open door and hope that you will join us in part 3. Leave a like on the way out. Leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Tell your friends about this playthrough and the other playthroughs on the channel. Check out the other playthroughs while you are waiting for the next one to come out. If you are waiting for the next one to come out, we'll get it out as soon as we can. If you're binging and they're already out, I'll see you in the next one. You're awesome. You matter. See you on the next one.